In the farthest reaches of the frozen earth, where night lasts for months and the stone burns with ghostly light, a silent hunter stirs, small, fragile, yet unbreakable, a whisper of life in a kingdom of death. This is the Arctic fox, the ghost of the northern lights. The tundra stretches for 1,000 miles, no trees, no shelter, only snow and wind. This is a kingdom of ice, a realm of profound silence. Here, silence is not peace. It is pressure. Every sound, a heartbeat, a breath, the faintest rustle beneath the snow means survival. The Arctic fox knows this music well. Its entire world is built on the virtue of patience, an unwavering stillness in the face of absolute emptiness. It listens, motionless, its head tilted, its ears twitching with supernatural precision. This animal doesn't just hear. It maps the hidden world beneath the ice with sound alone. Under the hard crust of snow, a lemming, a tiny vole, stirs, oblivious to the spectral presence above. And in a flash of white, the hunter leaps. A perfect, calculated arc through the frozen air, ending in the sudden stillness of a kill. In the unforgiving north, there are no mistakes. There are only meals, or graves. This is the first law of the tundra, a brutal but simple truth that governs all life. Its fur is one of nature's greatest masterpieces, a garment perfectly engineered for this extreme world. In winter, it is pure white, a ghost's robe woven from frost and silence. This immaculate coat allows it to dissolve into the endless snowscape, becoming utterly invisible. In the brief, vibrant summer, a remarkable transformation occurs. The fur sheds its winter white and turns to a model of stone gray and sand brown, allowing the fox to melt into the barren rocks and sparse vegetation of the thawed tundra. This shape-shifting armor is the key to its survival, making it a ghost to both its prey and its predators. But even this perfection cannot outrun the inexorable march of change. As the earth warms, the ancient rhythms of the tundra are disrupted. The snow melts sooner, the sea ice retreats, and the seasons blur into one another. For the Arctic fox, this means its brilliant camouflage begins to fail. A white fox on brown earth is a beacon, a target. The ghost's cloak is becoming a liability, a stark signal of a world losing its balance. When hunger gnaws and the small prey of the tundra have vanished deep beneath the snow, the fox must turn to a different strategy. It becomes a shadow, a satellite, to a far greater hunter, the monarch of the ice, the polar bear. The fox follows in the footsteps of this colossal predator, keeping a respectful but opportunistic distance. It waits at the edge of danger, a patient scavenger for the remains of a kill. A seal, dragged from the sea and torn apart by the bear, represents a feast beyond imagination. To the ice bear, the fox is nothing more than a flicker of white in its peripheral vision, an insignificant attendant. But to the fox, the bear's leftovers are everything. This strange symbiotic bond has lasted for millennia, a partnership forged in the crucible of the frozen world. It is a dance between predator and scavenger, brute force and cunning, bound by the unwritten law of the Arctic. The bear leaves behind a trail of power. The fox, in its quiet, resourceful way, turns that power back into life. And in doing so, the Arctic finds its delicate, precarious balance once more. The sun, a distant memory, finally disappears for weeks, then for months on end. The long Arctic night descends, endless, black, and absolute. This is not just darkness. It is an oppressive physical presence. During this time, the world is reshaped by the wind. Blizzards rage across the tundra like living creatures, their ghostly howls roaring and clawing at the snow-covered land. In its den, a small burrow dug into a snowbank or a hillside, the fox curls into itself, a tight ball of white fur. Its heartbeat slows, its metabolism drops, conserving every precious calorie of warmth against the murderous cold. Outside, the wind sculpts the world anew. Great dunes of snow, called sastrugi, rise and collapse in an eerie, silent ballet. The landscape is in constant, violent motion, yet there is no sound but the storm. In its deep slumber, the fox dreams. Perhaps it dreams of light, of warmth, of the rustle of prey under the snow. But even in sleep, a part of its mind remains vigilant, always listening for the faintest sign of danger or the faintest promise of a meal. By the depths of midwinter, food has become a near impossibility. The rodents are buried too deep, the birds have long since flown south, and the polar bears have moved far out onto the sea ice, beyond the fox's range. Hunger becomes a constant companion. The fox is forced to travel, covering miles and miles through relentless storms that can erase its own tracks moments after they are made. Every step burns more energy than it can hope to gain. It faces a slow, agonizing battle against starvation, frostbite, and the sheer, crushing weight of the cold. This is extinction, written in slow motion, the story of a single life flickering against an overwhelming darkness. And yet, it does not stop. It persists. Something ancient and indomitable burns within its tiny frame, a will to live that is older than fear, older than time itself. The will to persist is the spirit of the Arctic. Even when nature closes its fist, determined to crush the life within it, the fox finds the smallest cracks to slip through. That is its gift, its curse, and ultimately its triumph. And then, after an eternity of darkness, a change. A whisper of light returns. A single razor-thin sliver of gold pierces the distant horizon, painting the underside of the clouds in shades of rose and violet. The long polar night is ending. The ice, which seemed eternally hard, softens at its edges. The very air seems to shift, carrying the first faint promise of warmth. And from the shadow of death, the ghost of the northern lights steps forward once more. Its pure white coat, thinned by the hardship of winter, glimmers under the pale, fragile dawn. It stands on a ridge, a silhouette against the fading aurora, alive, unbroken, eternal. It has survived another journey into the abyss and returned. The light finds the life that refused to be extinguished. In a world that is melting, fading, and changing at a pace never before seen, the Arctic fox remains. It is not the strongest creature of the North. It is not the fastest. It is not the largest. But it is, perhaps, the most enduring. Its existence is a testament to the power of adaptation, a patience, of an unbreakable will forged in the coldest, darkest, and most unforgiving crucible on earth. It is a reminder that even the smallest life can carry the entire spirit of the North within its heart.